Back in the day, I would mess with it, try to get someone in there.
Too many reviews.
Yeah, but now I just let it ride, and they've been booking every single freaking day. These last minute bookings are legit, man.
Mm-hmm. All the way. I mean, Airbnb's filled with, like, especially if you don't take bookings on HomeAway, Airbnb's just straight filled up with, like, last minute travelers.
Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let
Thrive.
Man, we haven't been on in a while, huh?
Look who's in studio.
Yeah, came back to the studio.
Myka in the house.
Yeah.
The mic rocker.
What you been up to, Stevie Stacks? Well, hold on, what episode we on?
We are on episode 84 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, Turo, etc. Get the hustle on, podcast, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff in the world. Live, let thrive.
In the world, okay. We taking over the world, Craig.
We got fans from all over.
Yeah, man. Yeah, matter of fact, we've been all over since the last time we casted, right?
We've been traveling.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
I went to a little place called Argentina.
Oh, you went to Argentina?
Yeah.
Did you stay in an Airbnb?
I stayed, yeah, actually, part of my trip, I stayed in this amazing Airbnb in the heart of Palermo. That's like it's in Buenos Aires. It's part of Buenos Aires called Palermo.
Okay.
And I mean, this was like a deluxe sky-rise apartment in the sky, man. And just like luxury. I mean, it was insane. It was only $100 a night, right? 2-bedroom, 3-bath, the shower, all modern as freak. And of course, you know, security entrance and gated, and I mean, all the we had rented a car, right? Yeah. And so we rented like a little Ford, whatever the
Turo.
Yeah. They didn't have Turo over there, but they don't have Turo. But we rented some little Ford, you know, thing. It was a midsize, and when we're parking in this, you know, sub-level parking garage, you know, it's all Beamers and Mercedes, and it's all these people. The rich people of Argentina live there, you know. And that's what I was wondering, man, they're letting them do Airbnb in this motherfucker?
They're probably looking like, look at the Americans over there in the Ford Focus.
I know, right? Yeah, for now anyways, they're letting them. But it's $100 a night, you know, and we'll dive right into it. I gave these fine hosts. I'm gonna put a link on our show to their Airbnb. It's freaking beautiful luxury. You'll love it if you go. Cheap, man. And this, I mean, it's like 27 stories up in the sky. It had a wraparound scenic view of the city. It's like I was staying in like a Manhattan skyline, man. It was unreal. Dang, dude.
I'm gonna have to mess with that. That's pretty dope.
And so, wraparound view of the city and balcony outside overlooking everything. You know, had so many things to mention. But anyways, I was you know, kind of, you know, going back and forth with the host a little bit, saying, we kind of do an Airbnb show, and I noticed a few things about how you're running your Airbnb. I mean, it stays booked, and you got it $100 a night every single night, you know, weekends and weekdays. I was like, you might consider doing a few things. First of all, don't allow single day bookings on the weekends, because that could mess up some money for you. And second of all, you might check into a pricing app. And especially you want to price your weekends higher than your weekdays, and because you could, I mean, you're staying booked, but you could make a lot more money off this place. This is like luxury right here. You say, we just, you know, we kind of just started a couple months ago, and so we're learning and this and that. But thank you for all your advice, you know. I was thinking, wow, they better not jack the price up on me when I come
that's
back.
what I was thinking, man. Hey, don't be giving me all that advice. Hey, I'm trying to go to Argentina and stay in the skyrise for $100 a night, man. You got to tell your boy Myka, then you tell him to up your price. Go ahead.
But I was just, it was an amazing place, and so, anyways, that's I did. You know, we had spring break going on. I did a Corpus trip at first, and then the second half we went to Argentina for our buddy's wedding. Okay, so that
went
was
to a wedding too. Me too.
Yeah, and so it was fun, man. It was action packed, man. What have you been up to?
Man, dude, I went to South by Southwest 2K19.
Nice.
That was lit. It was pretty cool because my nephew got to perform, and I was actually shocked. I was like, dang, you're already performing at South by Southwest? He's a rapper. I was like, dang, he's only 19. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I did that, went to South by. Then I got back from South by, and we went back home to Portland. We were only there for a weekend, went there for a wedding. Shout out to my friend Lene and Tyler for getting married. They got married, we went up there. We actually stayed at Airbnb, and I don't like giving them my money. But but no, it was a dope. The only reason I really truly stayed at it is because I had a $100 credit on my line. Yeah. And, it was for $100. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and stay in this Airbnb and use the $100 credit. We used the credit, and then we only paid like $86 for the whole place for that night because we only needed it for one night. And I was kind of the same way about giving out tips. But instead of giving them tips, I just wrote our podcast on their thing. We're like, hey, we're the hosts of Live, Let Thrive. And then, I was like, well, I'll just let them find out that way. But, yeah, because one thing I noticed, because we booked it real late at night. It was like, not real late, but it was like at 9 o'clock. And it was instant book. And one of the suggestions for me to them, which I didn't tell them, but we instant booked it. And when we instant booked it, we ended up not being able to get the check-in instructions because they don't have automatic messaging system. Okay. So I had to knock on their door because they live on premises. It was actually a house that I actually would want. They have 2 Airbnbs next to their house because they live in a triplex. Oh man, it was a dope Airbnb too. It was like a little small 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Everything was fully upgraded, kitchen. And then we didn't get to see the second one, but they pretty much have 2 full-blown Airbnbs next to them. They don't see the guests or anything. So they charge like $100-something a night for both of them. I'm like, oh, yeah, they paying their rent. Because, me and Mahogany was looking. She was like, man, I moved back to Portland for this. And then I was like, you sure? He was like, well, the weather. I was like, yeah, I ain't coming back up here. But, yeah, man, it was pretty dope,
So that was Portland.
Yeah, that was Portland. We were in Portland and Salem. We were all
and they allow Airbnb in Portland.
Yeah, but it's strict. Like, they make you, after we checked out, she was like, hey, I'm going to have to ask you for your driver's license. Your full name, your address, and I need your tags off your car and your make and model of your car. She's like, yeah, Portland requires us to collect this information. I was like, what? Yeah. I'm like, good thing I'm in a rental car. So I just took pictures of the tags, gave it to her, and told her what kind of car it was. It was a rental car anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of rental cars, you know that they rent to people under 25 now?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but they charge a premium, right?
Yeah, they charge a premium rate.
Oh, okay.
I was like, but I talked to my boy, and he was like, it's been like that. He goes, yeah, you charge a premium rate. Because I thought that was new since Turo came about, but it ain't. It's been like that for a while. Because I'm like, I think it seemed like the rental car company was kind of seeing like what the share economy. I thought they were kind of like scoping out what the share economy's doing to other industries, and they're like, well, let's change something to stay competitive, But yeah, man, it was a pretty dope trip. Then I'm about to take another trip in May. I'll be going to the Bahamas.
Oh,
and after
nice.
that, I'm finally, because I keep telling people the only part of the United States I haven't been to is New York. We're going to try to go to New York in September, right before it gets cold.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I love New York. New York's,
really? See, I've never been, man.
Yeah, it's the city that never sleeps, man. You going just you and your wife?
Yeah.
No kid?
No kid.
Oh, yeah, you can party all night.
Yeah. We try to do every 90 days, just go on a trip, just us two. And then, yeah.
That's how you do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time. So we've both been really busy. You still busy with work and stuff, huh?
Yeah, a little bit busy with work, man. Work's cool, but doing the Airbnb thing, man, the last 2 weeks, man, people been losing keys, man. I'm like, what the hell? But, yeah, made some extra money off of it, charged the hell out of them.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that.
But, yeah.
Speaking of work,
yeah.
I wanted to bring something up. And it's funny because, like, I have my job's cool in the aspect that we fly for free. Oh, that's like the coolest benefit. That's why I started working there. That's why and it sucked at the beginning because when I started there, I was making like $7 an hour a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
When I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
So I was 19. I'm in college, barely making enough to pay for whatever, just the regular things, and But my family was flying around on my tickets, and as soon as I got my tickets, and and I'm like, I'm over here busting my hump, full-time college, full-time job, and trying to, I can't afford to go anywhere, and they're flying around on my shit. That's how
rolling around on your buddy pass.
That's how it felt at first, But then, slowly you get raises and you can start affording to go travel and stuff. But it was funny. So I've been there for since '97.
Dang, man, that's dope. So, 22 years.
It's going on 22 years.
Woo!
So it's yeah, man, and it's flight benefits are like infused in who I am now. I love hopping on a plane and going somewhere, man. I've been to a lot of spots. And so, and that's one thing, like trying to reach financial freedom.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of where I'm working right now, but I was always thinking, man, if I do bounce early, I want to be sure to keep those flight benefits.
Yeah.
And so I hit up HR and I was like, I heard about this formula y'all have, like years of service plus age. If it equals 65, you can bounce or you can retire and keep your flight benefits. Mm-hmm. And so I will reach this magic number
3 years
closer on February 1st, 2020. I will hit that mark where I'll have the formula, I'll have 65.1 and 0.01, and that'll be, I could retire at that date and keep my flight benefits. That's pretty sweet. I could even hop to another whatever job I wanted to try, and I just looking at that date now it seems real. It seems attainable. If I can put everything into place where I'm getting my cash flows and it's taking care of us and stuff, and I could bounce February 1st, 2020 and keep my flight benefits, that would be sweet.
Oh, I'd dip. I'd dip.
And then I was thinking, and then I should go probably work for a hotel chain next. That way we get free flights and free hotels.
Yeah, you could, man. Learn the tricks of the trade.
I told my cousin that too, and he was like, "Yeah, he said, yeah, that'd be a good idea." He's like, I was like, yeah, I'll come in there all strutting and say, hey, y'all, I've been doing Airbnb for a few years, so I can teach y'all some things.
There you go. Use that to your advantage. Yeah. Straight up.
They'd be like, get the fuck out. Airbnb is shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. In Austin, we stayed in a hotel. Of course, it was free. I used my points.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we stayed at the high rise in Austin, Omni downtown.
Oh,
looking all the downtown. Dude.
You posted that picture too of you standing by the window. I was like, man, that's a nice Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
And what'd you say?
Oh yeah, that's an F Airbnb.
You said F Airbnb.
But in the hotel. So yeah, it was pretty dope. So yeah, if you could do, man. February 1st, 2020, dude. That would be dope. If you could keep all your flight benefits, retire. How many houses are you up to now? 4?
We're working on number 4. That's the other big news right now. We're working on number 4 right now.
So, this is the question I had. How has the Hearst house been? How has the long-term tenant thing going?
She moves in April 1st. So, I've been Airbnb-ing all this time, and I've been freaking killing it, dude. That sucks.
Are you making more than what she's going to pay?
Currently, yes. And then the summertime ain't even got here yet. That's when I make the big bucks. So, and the funny thing is, this is a tip for all you Airbnbers out there. If we ever give y'all any information, we mostly just bullshit. But we get here's a tip. I had my calendar set, right? I had even upped the prices a little bit, and I'm just like, this month coming up to April 1st, when a long-term renter is gonna move in. If I don't get booked, I don't get booked. I can go in there and do some things I need to do, whatever.
Yeah.
But they've been booking it, dude. And even like the next, I'll be like, okay, tomorrow no one's booked, and tomorrow and the next day no one's booked. I can go in there, do some, and then like that day, somebody will book it. I mean, I hadn't usually in the past. I'd be like, oh fuck, I ain't got nobody, so I'd lower my prices before. I'd freak out and start lowering my prices. I just been sitting steady. And then
how many reviews you have?
Man. Like, I don't know, 50, 60?
Oh, yeah,
I could
you
just
don't need
guess.
to, you don't need to lower your price. You're in the DFW, man.
No, but I'm just saying, like the day before or 2 days out, in the middle of the week. I back in the day, I would mess with it, try to get someone in there.
Too many reviews.
Yeah, but now I just let it ride, and they've been booking every single freaking day. These last minute bookings are legit, man.
Mm-hmm. All the way. I mean, Airbnb's filled with especially if you don't take bookings on HomeAway, Airbnb's just straight filled up with last minute travelers. Speaking of that, my house in Arkansas is like that, and I'm shocked. But I'm charging $80-$100 a night now. I only got 20 reviews. People are booking it because I set up Pricelabs. Man, that's been killing it for me. I got people booking for $120 a night. I'm like, dang, they get paying this in this small town. That's why I kind of reconsidered. I told you, man, I'm looking for a multifamily, but I'm like, dang, if I can do this well with a single family in the middle of Arkansas, I might be able to kill it in Dallas, man. So I'm kind of looking at some off-market deals.
Right.
Yeah, to kind of keep that equity already in there and then just do a little fix up on it. But yeah, dude, yeah, don't. Once you hit a certain number of reviews, you really ain't gotta mess with your pricing lowering it. Especially you throw Pricelabs on that bad boy.
Pricelabs is the truth, and I haven't used it yet because I'm already winding down.
Yeah,
my
no point.
but I will. I told my wife that
is she on a year lease?
She'll be on a year lease, yeah. But I told you already. I told you, and I said if you ever need to go out of town or something, let me know. We can Airbnb the house, and we can split the money.
Yeah.
So in other words, I'm running her Airbnb for 50%, which is not a bad deal. It's my house anyways, right?
Yeah.
And so, I was gonna get at. Oh, here's one thing too. And did I tell you about the new house at all?
No. You ain't talking about the new house.
We're closing. Currently closing on the house.
Oh snap!
It's over there, and it's off of Hearst, and it's kind of like Hearst Fort Worth border, where the Trinity and Precinct.
Yeah.
And so,
where you were before.
So we like that area. And anyways, one thing and I've heard this is it's weird. It's a lifelong dream of mine. But I've been warned about it by a lot of people. It's a lot of work, blah blah. But I've always wanted to have a swimming pool.
Okay.
In-ground swimming pool. No bullshit above the ground bullshit.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have a swimming pool, especially here in Texas. It's hot as hell in the summer times, and I just love to have something to dip into. And so this house has a swimming pool. Mm-hmm. Getting a good price on it, I believe. 2-story, and it has a big yard too. It has a big yard and a swimming pool.
Dang.
And so
hard to find in Texas.
It's hard to find that, and it's the area we want to be. And so we said, let's do it, And so we put in for it. We got the accepted, and now we're going through the closing process. Mm-hmm. And so, but I was like, man, I was just thinking to myself, this would be badass Airbnb because it's got a swimming pool, man. I could jack up the rates on that.
I heard it's a liability. That's what I've been hearing.
I've heard that from a lot of people. I said they say it's a hole in the ground that you throw money into. They call it
money pit, straight up
money pit.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: if I wanted to outsource that, it would cost $127 a month, and someone would take care of the pool for me, right?
Okay.
And so that ain't too bad if you think about it. That's like 4 hours overtime for me. I could hit that mark, and
overtime for you. You charge that in your Airbnb price? What do you mean, man? You running an Airbnb business, or you working to run your business? Actually, you could up your cleaning fee to $75 per stay.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than half of it. Plus, you'll make it back on your nightly rentals. Especially if you legit can, what I'm saying, if you can get somebody to run it for how much you say a month?
To run it
to
clean it,
the pool.
Oh yeah, 127. I saw it for $127 a month.
Oh man, that's an operating cost. You can write.
Yeah, and I don't have to. I don't have to clean shit. They do the chemicals. They clean it and all that stuff. That's not a bad deal.
Now, how often are they cleaning it though?
I don't know. First time I had a pool, but I just know the maintenance runs around that price.
Because I only think the only problem I can see is of oh no, guests can't mess up a pool too bad, can they? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
I know a friend of the show, Cammy, said something about some guests messed up their pump and a bunch. They messed up something like that, and that cost a lot of money.
See, with your pump, where is it?
But this isn't. But Yeah, but this pump is like away from the pool, so I don't see. Well, I think most of them are, but I don't. Like I said, I don't know a lot about a pool. I don't think they could jack it up.
Tell you what, I'll ask my neighbor. My neighbor behind me, he has a pool.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And his is in ground. He decked his out. Like, I was there watching him build it. Like, he decked it out. Like, he's got lights in it. He's got lights in it, and he put like the tile around it, and he got the tile coming in under it. Like, it's dope. Like, they go swimming at night in it. It's pretty dope. He keeps telling me, "Man, come over and come swimming." I'll eventually do it, but yeah. But
yeah. So that's a big deal for me. I've been warned. I know, and I think a lot of people that have warned me are the ones that are cleaning it themselves, and it's been in a lot of time. So, but if I get outsourced that, and then like you said, and I wouldn't, because we're gonna be living there.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, well, we could, whenever we travel, I'm gonna throw it on Airbnb, and it'll pay for our whole trip. I think it'll do good, because it's like it's a 4-bedroom, but it's pretty much a 5-bedroom, because it has an extra room that's like what's it called, a theater room, whatever. And so, but I was like, that can make that a bedroom too. And I mean, it has, yeah, a lot of people could stay there potentially.
Okay, so. We should have called this episode Steve's Financial Freedom. So this is what you could do.
Here we go.
How much, you saying you got how many bedrooms and baths is in it?
It's, like I said, it's considered 4-bedroom, 3-bath, but
you have the extra theater.
That theater room could be an extra bedroom too. So it's like a 5-bedroom, 3-bath.
So you got a 5-3.
Right.
So what you do is, in 1 year, can either bounce to another house or just move back into this house or another house. Actually, you really might want to bounce back to your old is that going to be too small for your family?
The Hearst one?
Yeah, you can't go from living in 5 bedrooms to going back to 3. You'd be like, I don't know, unless you're ready to retire.
That's a good question, man.
Because my parents, when they left, they didn't downgrade either. They went from a 4 to a 4 at retirement. They were like, no, they said it's hard to downgrade.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I've always, my retirement plan is to retire in my condo.
Really?
Yeah. If I can, I want to retire in Ghana, but I want to be able to just have my condo and just retire there.
Whatever, you'll be written that out too.
I will. But
when you're not using it.
Yeah, when I'm not using it, yeah. But then if you can retire in something small, But my thing is, if you maybe, you might be there. If you Airbnb this, I don't know if you want to do it, but if you do this, whew.
I want to. And
I think you're in the zone, man.
I'm in a nice spot to Airbnb.
No, the zone.
You think so?
Yeah, the planning zone. You're here.
Yeah, maybe. I have to look at the map again. I have to see the map again.
Also, I was thinking the good thing about your house, your neighbors would never know.
Not where I'm positioned. They
would never know because are you going to have them enter your side gate?
Yeah, I'll leave a clicker and they can interact.
Oh,
they'll never see no cars.
You'd kill it. That's the whole thing. If they don't see no cars, they ain't know what's going on.
Now we got a thing going on. There's they're trying to put together a lawsuit against Arlington so we can be able to, people can continue to Airbnb.
Yeah.
And so I chatted back and forth with the guy because he had mentioned something. That. He said, we need to do this lawsuit and this and that because cities have a way of finding your Airbnb even if you try to go underground and this and that. And I was like, and I just questioned, hey, so how do cities, find people that are cloaking their Airbnbs? And he's like, well, there's various ways. It'd be too long to write a long message or a text or something like that, but they got ways to do it. If you go to the meeting, then we'll talk about how they're doing it. I'm like, okay. I just wanted to hear an answer, Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I keep saying I think it's Airbnb giving up your information, but I don't know. People keep saying they don't give up the information, then how are they getting it? But
now if you put the pin somewhere else, does that actually work?
The pin just cloaks your location. Like, hey, if we post it right here, it'll say we're here, but if we post it down the street, it'll just say we're in that area. But there's an issue with that. You're going to get a bad review on accuracy and location. That's the only problem with doing that.
Oh, well.
But if you like the girl who did it in Viridian, you can't really get a bad review if you drop it in the middle of the lake. I mean, you know for a fact it's somewhere on that lake, you know. So hey, you know you're getting a lake house, you know.
That's pretty genius right there.
You don't know which one, but you're getting one, you know. But
so yeah, man. I mean, I think it'd be a great Airbnb, the new house, and it has a swimming pool. I mean, and I'll tell you, whenever I look to go anywhere first, like a vacation or just anywhere,
correct.
Like even San Antonio, whatever, I always check. I always put in there on the amenities. I always put swimming pool because I want to have a swimming pool wherever I go. Mm-hmm. If I can't find nothing, fine. I'll just I'll remove it and get whatever. But the first thing I want in a place is like it's kind of like a vacation. I want to have a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, man, if we had that place, if we Airbnb'd it out, shoot, get the swimming pool people in there. They pay a premium for a swimming pool.
Yeah, they will. Now my question is this though on swimming pools. Now the girl who said her pump was broken, do swimming pools attract partiers? Because I'm kind of thinking like this: if you're going to rent it out when you're on vacation, meaning you usually vacation on weekends, right?
Right.
Do you think I would talk to her about that?
Weekends or a week trip.
Matter of fact, get her on the show.
Yeah, she's been hitting that one to finally come on the show. Speaking of underground Airbnbers.
Well, she wants to keep it underground.
She won't tell. She won't say where hers is at.
Good.
But it's in a place where it shouldn't be. And so, but she's had no.
She's definitely a fan
issues.
of the show,
and she's yeah.
I mean,
she's had no issues with it.
That's my thing. I don't think you can have an issue unless
someone rats her out.
Straight up.
And she's had partiers too. She's had issues with partiers, but she's in a place. Her house makes like $8,000 a month. I mean,
I know where she's at.
Yeah, 8 to 10,000, sometimes 12,000, and so. But she has people that party there, and so she's had.
She probably allows it too.
Yeah,
8 to 12 G's. That probably allows.
So what if you spent $500 to fix a pump? Oh well,
for real, man. 8 to 12 G's. That's a business expense.
Oh man, we want to dive into some topics.
Man, we got a bunch of stuff on here, man. You were writing it out, man.
I can just type forever.
Yeah, you were. The share. I got a bunch of share economy stuff. Have you ever heard of Favor?
Mm-mm.
Man, Favor's a dope app. You can pay somebody to do pretty much anything for you. Like, so this weekend, right when I got off the plane, one of my keys stopped working at one of my places, right? So I was like, dang, man, I ain't going to have time. I'm like already tired, just got off the plane. So I got on Favor, and I had the guy go pick up my spare key, which is in Key Cafe, share economy thing. Look up Key Cafe if you need a way to exchange keys. Had him go pick it up at Key Cafe, drop it off to the guest, and the guest was able to get in. And it was only like $7.
What?
Yeah, $7.
That's a lifesaver for $7.
Favor is only in Texas.
Holy snap!
HEB bought it.
HEB. That's my favorite grocery store.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, this was I was thinking with Favor. Now, this is the problem with Favor. There's one downfall to it. During the week, you can't get anyone to do it.
Everybody's working.
Yeah. But this is where my idea was. If I was HEB or Favor or whoever, if I was HEB, the person that owned Favor, I would sell it to Uber. They have the cars.
There you go.
I was like, dang, so I was looking at it because I'm like, okay, it looks like the problem is they don't have any cars on the road. All they have to do is literally sell that to Uber. Uber will instantly take it global.
Damn. That our buddy that does Turo, the one that lives in Dallas, he could use it because he's always having his main issue is the car drop offs, right?
Easy.
You should hit him up.
Easy.
Yeah, and someone else that could.
I bet you he already does it.
Maybe, yeah. Someone else who could definitely have used it is the Patriots owner Robert Kraft. He could have used Favor, and he'd be out of a lot of trouble.
No, all he had to do was record it. It's legal.
Right. The cops were recording it.
No, but I mean, yeah. So I used Favor. That was dope, and that's like, I was like, dang, like you can anything.
Is it favor.com or Favor?
Oh no, it's an app. It's called Favor. It's only
okay.
in Texas too. I was like, dang. I'm like, if HEB was to sell that to Uber, man, they make a killing. Uber would pay millions for that. Yeah, they probably pay millions for that. Watch HEB's listening, like, oh, really?
Do you have the Favor app? Oh yeah, I guess you did. You used it already. I need to get it. I'm gonna download that thing right now before I forget. Because I always say I'm gonna do stuff on the show.
Yeah. And
then I forget. And what else did you have for us?
Oh yeah.
While I'm downloading Favor.
Yeah, I did the Favor thing. Airbnb's new feature, the Teams feature. You seen it yet?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Anything deli? No, wait.
Yeah, no, that's it. You can set up your own favorite.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna lie though, somebody might get in trouble for that. Hey, I'm gonna put this in your trunk. Don't look in here. Just drop it off. hey, hold on.
You know, speaking of that, I have buddies at work that talked about back in the day. They're from the hood and stuff. He goes, back in the day, you wanted to get some drugs, things from point A to point B. They would they'd have it on them. They'd hit up a taxi cab, and the taxi cab would take them across town to where they needed to go.
Yeah.
It's freaking genius. They don't have to drive it in their own car. Not to give anybody ideas. This is now they use Uber, but
pretty much nobody's pulling over a taxi cab.
Yeah, the cops ain't pulling over no taxi cab.
Yeah. You ever watch Power?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch Power, man. You never watch? Yeah, you gotta watch Ghost and Tommy, man. The guy, he was moving drugs, right?
Yeah.
So he bought an ambulance company. The lady's like, ain't nobody gonna pull over no ambulance, Tommy. He was like, dude, start moving weight through an ambulance, man. But, But go ahead.
That's a great idea. No, I was just saying, back in the day, they'd use taxi cabs to go move some product.
It's true, man. It's all types of ways. You got to be. I'm not. Now we're not endorsing drugs. Yeah, we're not endorsing the.
Unless you're in Cali, it's legal, or Portlandia.
Depends on what it is. But yeah.
Did you see any dispensaries while you were there?
Yeah.
Just to tour them, not. To...
Yeah. Like they got. It's crazy up there, dude. Like the culture of it. Like, you ever been to Portland?
No.
Have you ever been to?
I've been to Washington, right above part. Shit. We
Seattle?
went to right close to Vancouver. We went in Bellingham, which is up
Bellingham?
right by Vancouver.
Yeah, you're right by. Yeah, okay. You never
beautiful God's country. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful up there.
It's beautiful.
Now this is my next question. Have you ever been to Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Then you've been to Portland. It's the same exact thing with a bunch of dispensaries. Like, it's the exact same city with a bunch of dispensaries on it.
Because Austin don't have dispensaries, though.
Yeah. But it's the exact same type of city feel, everything. Like, the exact... If you go to Austin, you go to Portland, you're like, dang, I'm in the same city.
Same city.
Yeah, but... Yeah, it's like dispensaries on every single block. Like, it was kind of weird, I was just, like, sitting there and, like, people just walking down the street. Like, because we went down... Where did we go? We're at my father-in-law's house, and we went to the Airbnb. People just walk down the street, I'm like, and I'm like forgetting I'm not in Texas. I'm like, oh, you smoking? I'm like, oh, never mind. It's legal out here, But
here.
Yeah, like it's pretty cool. It's a cool city. I can't live there, but
expensive, man.
Yeah, it's expensive.
You said you walked into a restaurant and like the record skipped, and everybody looked at you.
Oh no, nah, man. Like, it ain't too many brothers and sisters up there in the Northwest. They got pockets, but there ain't a lot of black people up there. So like we had walked into a restaurant, which I lived there for 19 years, and then when you leave for 10 years, you go back. It's kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
You have to get used to it. And I forgot. I'm like, that's just the way it is up here. They don't really see much culture up here.
Right.
They didn't say it. Like when I wrote, they didn't say it. They just were looking like. So we walked in. And plus, we were all the way down in Salem, which is Mahogany's hometown. Well, she's from Woodburn in Salem. Yeah. I'm not really from that part. I'm from Portland, which is the exact same thing. But, yeah, and I was just like, they were like, oh, wow, blacks. Like, they were just looking at us, and I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like, man,
What a Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I'll never live up here.
I bet you're going to order the chicken, ain't you?
Yeah, that type of, man, I hate it up there, man. Like, it's the culture, like, outside, like, the outdoors, I love it, but everything else is like, I couldn't live there. But it's a cool place, I tell people, if you've never been, you'll love the outdoor country part of it.
Yeah. I take it it's similar to what Washington looks like. It's close by.
Yeah, so very similar.
Trees, mountains, beautiful.
Washington's probably more... I would say I like northern Washington. Out of all the Pacific Northwest, I'm not really a fan of them, but I would say I like probably northern Washington, like Seattle, Olympia, Tacoma, then going up there towards like Vancouver, BC. You ever been to Canada?
I went to Vancouver. Yeah,
man,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Now, did you cross over to Victoria?
No.
It's beautiful. Victoria's beautiful. Like, it's just a bunch of islands up there. It's dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I think we got off subject. I was saying the teams feature of Airbnb.
Okay.
You can like pretty much add a person. Like, okay, the person has to have a brand new Airbnb account. Mm-hmm. You just add them to your team, and they can do everything for you. You can give them access to whatever you want access to. Like, hey, you can have 5 people on your team. Hey, you do update the listings, you control the pricing, you can do that. And they can have, like, the co-host thing where you have to add them to every listing. You don't have to do that. You pretty much just add them to your team, and they have access to every single listing.
Damn.
Yeah, it can put some pressure on some PMS systems like Guesty. Having one person be able to do that, it's pretty tough, man. But I don't know if I should. Remember a while ago I had a meeting with Airbnb?
Mm-hmm.
It was about that. And then they were bringing it.
Really?
Yeah, and they finally brought it. It's dope. Especially if you have like 10 plus listings, even 5 listings, you can pretty much hand it off and be done.
Damn, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, check it out. Called Teams, Airbnb Teams.
It's smart on Airbnb's part because I mean, all these other little apps and websites popped up to do all these things that Airbnb didn't do. Now Airbnb's just trying to do it all, right? One stop shopping.
Yeah, and I was wondering.
Because that 1%, I don't know, what's it called? Beyond pricing.
Yeah.
They get 1% of the money, but I mean, if you add that up, that's a lot of 1% that Airbnb could get.
Yeah, it is. And I think they tried with the smart. Like, I don't know. I don't think Airbnb. See, Airbnb is investing more into hotels and stuff. Like, they bought Hotel Tonight. They're investing in hotels. They ain't investing in their software because I don't think they care about becoming a better hosting platform. Like, if I was Airbnb, right, and I just wanted it to be a great hosting experience, I would set up all that automated messaging myself.
Yeah.
Why would you, let all these other companies come in and do it,
That's true. That's true.
But hey, I'm not knocking them for investing like that. I'd do it too. But yeah.
The teams, man. There you
go. Well, what you got over there, man? I know you were busy in Argentina and everything else.
Yeah, I wanted, at first, we were going to title this episode Hotels versus Airbnb, who's winning? And, excuse me. And why I did that? Because I got a pretty good deal through my work at a Holiday Inn over there in Corpus, right? Okay. That was that first half of our little vacation. And I was like, oh, cool, and I saw the balcony, I was overlooking the bay right there. I was like, man, this is cool. This is better than Airbnb. Screw Airbnb. And and we've been primarily staying at Airbnbs, right? I've been doing it for a while. And so I was like, I might be changing my tune a little bit. I might be getting into, staying at some hotels, even though hotels are trying to put me out of business.
Yeah.
And so anyways, and you stay at hotels all the time and tell me how badass they are. And but anyways, got to the hotel, did the check-in thing, and it was Holiday Inn right on the water. But man, they letting that thing go. I mean, it's not as pretty anymore. It's starting to get rough around the edges.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I just didn't have like a good feel to it. I mean, it was okay, but and plus it was just hotels. It's just one room, one room, 2 beds. I brought my daughter Cadence with me, my 11-year-old, and then of course my wife and the baby. So she had her own bed. I slept with my wife and the baby in the middle, and so we had and I thought it wouldn't be an issue, but I was like, man, at the Airbnbs I stayed at, it at least was a bedroom separate from the living room or whatever. And people kind of had more space. So at first, the thing I noticed was there's the space issue. I was like, I'm just not used to everybody being in the same spot the whole time. Someone's got to change, turn around, all that crap. And then, I went to go see the view, right? Opened the curtains, and I was like, oh, this is a nice balcony, nice view. Freaking door wouldn't open. Oh, and I was like, what the hell? And they had bolted it shut. And I was like... And then I saw a sticker on there saying, due to, for safety concerns for our guests, we don't allow these doors to be open. Sorry for any inconvenience. I was like, I have this badass balcony overlooking the water. I can't even chill out on the balcony and like, you know, kick back and drink a beer or something. I'm like, I just have to sit there like a puppy at the window just looking out. I was like, this is messed up, man. I started getting a little claustrophobic, man. I was like, what the hell? I can't open a window in this mug. And so and then there was no microwave. There was not even any like a mini fridge. I was like, this sucks. You just things that I started taking for granted. Staying at Airbnbs, they have kitchens, full kitchens, or at least a little small kitchen or something, and then separate rooms. I mean, I was just like, man, screw this freaking hotel. I know they're not all like that.
Yeah, it sounds like you were just staying at a cheap hotel.
I was staying at, it was a Holiday Inn. You think that's right on the water?
Cheap, man, that's cheap. Yeah, that's Airbnb stumps a hole in them, man. It's cheap. No, like for real, like because everything you said that you didn't have, I had in the hotel that I was in. Like that's where hotels make their money. They make their money off the high end rooms. You know, like a person like me, I'm staying for free. So they had a mini fridge in there. I had my own room, then a whole living room. I had like a resort style hotel. Now, this is my thing because I know you were talking about hotels versus Airbnb. Honest opinion, and just looking at it, Airbnb isn't a big disruptor for hotels. I'll say this. A bigger market disruptor in their market is Uber. Uber's a way bigger market disruptor than Airbnb. Way bigger. Uber was so big, taxi companies either went out of business or had to get on it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a disruptor.
That's a disruptor. Like they literally, Favor app doesn't have can't even put cars on the road because of Uber.
Jeez.
Because I'm like, and after I was doing Favor, I was like, dang man, I'm like, Airbnb really hasn't disrupted the hotel industry because even when I was at South by Southwest, all the big rappers were they were in hotels.
Oh wow, yeah.
I was like, well,
I think maybe a lot of that is the music industry is just used to doing business like that for years, maybe.
Or Airbnb. Well, Airbnb can't really discriminate. Well, now you can't discriminate because there's ways to see the profile picture. I mean, a lot of people, like even a lot of the rock stars, everybody was out there. They was at hotels. People know what Airbnb is. It's a household name. Mm-hmm. So why are people still like the big names? That's where they can't get. I think that's where they struggle getting. Is the big names because you ain't gonna look at your Airbnb and be like, oh man, Jay-Z wants to book your Airbnb.
Well, unless it's an Airbnb Select.
Plus, yeah, you can.
Or Plus, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that might be the case. They might say, Airbnb, whatever. They're not a threat to us. But just in case, let's throw some money at some council people just to make sure they can't do business in the same area we're doing business.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Also, you have to... Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's true.
Plus, the swimming pool there at the hotel, crowded as hell. Kids everywhere. And I'm like, God,
that's true. Get your own private.
And that's that's Airbnb. Usually we have a place that has like 4 units, 5 units. We have our own pool. No one ever bothers us. I mean, it's like you just get used to these things.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so just seeing it as that, I'm thinking. And you said it's a cheap hotel, but Holiday Inn. I always thought Holiday Inn on the water. I thought this would be nice.
You got to go to an Omni or something, man. That's a Holiday Inn. What? Yeah, man, Holiday Inn right next to the what is it? The Red Roof Inn nowadays, man. Matter of fact, even like who was it? I forgot what podcast I was listening to. And they were just like, Motel 6 is like, he goes, you can say what you want about Motel 6, but they dominate the motel industry just simply off their name.
Oh, strong name.
Motel, we'll keep the light on for you. Motel 6, man,
you,
dude, like you can't knock Motel 6 out.
And if you're gonna pull up to Motel 6, they're probably gonna charge you a good penny too for last minute booking.
Like $70 a night.
Yeah.
Like that's what I tell people. Like I ain't gonna lie, that's why when I first started Airbnb, that's what I was always comparing to Motel 6. But then after that guy told me that, I was like, you're right. You can't compete with Motel 6. Every corner, $70 a night.
Yeah.
You want a prostitution ring? We don't care. Hey.
Hotel, motel.
For real, man. That's pretty much how Motel 6 get out. I mean, but they're a market disruptor.
I've come to the conclusion. I always say that, but then I go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I've always said about Padre, I'm like, man, it just, to me, owning a vacation home doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make financial sense unless you got this, you got a hand me down from your parents' badass, hotel or condo overlooking the beach. I mean, in the perfect location, you make some money off of it. But if you're gonna go buy one and finance one and try to make money off it, man, the margins are so tight. Plus, what sucks is most of the HOAs
don't allow Airbnb.
Well, they do. Vacation areas, they pretty much do. Some of them don't. Some of them it has to be 30 days or longer. But mostly they know that people need to rent them out, whatever. Mm-hmm. And but man, I mean, but the HOA fees go up every year, and that's just eating into your profits, dude. So I'm like, I almost think now that just invest in single family. Well, I like single family homes. Mm-hmm. You could, I mean, say what you will, but I mean, if you ever need to leave one and bounce and sell it, it's pretty easy to sell a single family home. Whereas if you get into the duplex, triplex, it's a limited market. People trying to buy those, and the ones that are trying to buy them are investors who want to make money when they buy them. So it's a little bit harder if you want to ever try to sell one.
How long you been doing real estate?
How long have I been renting out? Probably like 3 years I've been doing it.
3 years?
3 maybe.
How many times have you wanted to sell?
There's been a couple times. It's been tempting with the prices just going sky.
How many times have you put something on the market and said, forget it, I'm selling this?
0.
So that wouldn't be a problem if you got a multifamily home. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can worry about that, but your cash flows goes through the roof.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, too.
Because you got to realize.
So you never want to sell. Well, you do want to sell your house.
You do want to sell.
Your current house, you do want to sell. Or you did.
I changed my strategy. I'm just going to pull the equity out of that and not pull the equity out of my rentals.
So how's that process? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. I just got to get all the paperwork turned in. But I'm gonna pull the cash out. I'm pulling the equity out of my main home. And I'm going to just, because I was thinking about pulling the equity out of my house in Arkansas. I'm like, man, the margins are too good, man. I'm like, thing only cost me $1,000 a month, all expenses. I'm like, do I want that to go up to $1,200? I'm like, nah, we'll just pull the equity out of the house, because they'll let you pull 80%, so you're still left with 20% equity just in case you want to sell.
Right.
You could just fix up whatever you want to do. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna refi. After we finish the refinance process, we're gonna look at either buying another house to live in, put the 5% down, or we'll just get a multifamily. But you are right, multifamilies are expensive, so the only way to get in, you got to get something off market. And I'm truly thinking, if I buy anything, I'm probably buying something off market, like a pre-foreclosure. I've been networking with a lot of wholesalers, man. Wholesalers, people that go door knockers, all those people. You got to network with them.
You probably have to get a fixer-upper too, huh?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
If I can go ahead and grab something low, have the equity in it instantly, fix it up a little bit, Airbnb it. See, I want something with instant equity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm aiming for now.
You'll find one that's like a mid-level and then start graffitiing on the walls and stuff.
But, I mean, so that's pretty much where I'm at now, about to do the refi. And I'm going to do it on my main home because you get a better interest rate. If you do it on a rental, man, I look at that interest rate, I'm like...
As my buddy says, refi till you die.
Yeah, but that refinance rate on a rental, you like, dang, but... Even if you show them the numbers, they're like, yeah, but this is the interest rate, Damn, they're 6%. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think that our buddy Ken, he's, I was originally going to try to buy his house, and but he said his wife didn't want to sell it after all sentimental value. But I think another part of it was, well, first of all, they're killing it in Airbnb on that house, and second of all, when he got it, because like his plan was to buy, they buy a house and then, fix it up and sell it 2 years later, keep all the profit. And it's 100% tax-free profit because they lived in the house 2 years. Anyways, this was going to be one of them. But
tax game 101.
Exactly. Your biggest expense in life is taxes. So learn how to not pay as much taxes legally.
Trump it up.
And so anyways, he kept saying when he was going to contemplating about selling it to me, he's like, man, but the thing is, I got like a 3% interest rate back in the day on that house, and so my mortgage is like $1,100 a month. He's just like, he just kept saying, man, I just, it's kind of hard to give that up. And anyways, they said, well, he was going to go ahead and sell it, and sell it to me. But then his wife came through at the last minute, said that she wanted to keep it in the family, whatever. And that's fine, whatever. We found one that we like even better, and it has a swimming pool. Yeah. So we're happy about how things turned out. But anyways, it's just, yeah, man, yeah, you're right. It's easy to say. You hear the bigger pockets people and other people say, refi, pull money out, whatever. But I'm like, well, what if that interest rate jumps from 3 to 6? That's a hard one to take. But then I think also, if there is a recession in the future, what do? They're going to lower interest rates to try to ease the pain on people, and then you can refi again, right, and get the lower interest rate. Yeah,
straight up. I mean, it's yeah, you're right. Plus they got it. Like Greg Cardone says some real stuff. Like, yeah, single family homes are a win for the bank. But the bank has to adjust if markets start changing. They're like, hey, we got to get the interest rate. Because that's how I bought my first house. They lowered the interest rate. Like, hey, you ain't got to you can put a low down payment down, and we'll do put in different programs out there, So
yeah,
it all depends on how, it just depends on how you work the game. It depends on how you work the game.
It is a game. And in the end, it's just all numbers, ain't it?
Straight up. That's all it is.
People are afraid, But, whatever. I put on here, I'm going to miss that Airbnb monies. Yes. We're going long term with that one. And she's already my new tenant. She's already proven to be like a really good tenant.
Okay.
She paid me like that first day, she paid me the deposit. And then this week she's like, I can send you the money early for this month's rent, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And so I already got that in the bank, and I'm like, man, she's being pretty good so far. And I'm like, it'll be a hands-off experience and plus we put it on Facebook so we can go ahead and say it. My wife's pregnant. So, thank you. I did all the work, and
I think she's watching.
She gets all the glory. What's up, babe? And
oh man,
women always get all the glory. But so yeah, that's another reason we wanted to upsize the house and get the house our we call it forever home, Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, babe. What if in a year I start getting that itch again? Because the hustle is kind of contagious. It's kind of addictive. Yeah. And so the timing of when we're gonna switch over to long term on that house and stop Airbnb is pretty good because she would do all the turnovers, right? And she's like, yeah, I'll be getting pregnant and not wanting to to do that very much. And I say, okay, cool.
The hardest workers I know, man.
See.
Man,
I could outsource it.
I wish I had that much hustle in me, man. I can't do it. I call y'all the hustle swatters, man. Hustlers, man.
I thought about this, man, because you give me grief about that. Because I remember one time, I guess you were texting me. I think you were texting me over something, and I was like, I'm over here, I'm kind of tied up. I'm cleaning the bathroom at the Hearst house at the Airbnb, and you're like, what the hell are you doing that for? It's like I had to do the cleaning and turnover. My wife's out of town. Why didn't you get somebody, man? Turnover. It's like, oh, man, I get it.
Oh man, that's funny.
And I know, and I always think that the thing is, I work so much freaking overtime. I know. I should take a few days off, get my systems in place. And that's the big thing I need to change in my mind is get my systems in place because I'm used to just that Airbnb thing. I was up until the last minute. I was asking you guys, should I make this house an Airbnb or should I go long term? And I'm kind of scared to do Airbnb. And you said, nah, do Airbnb. It'd be nice. And so it's
ingrained in you to work for money, huh?
See, but I have outsourced certain things, and I'm getting better at that. I've outsourced cutting the grass. And I have, I cut at the two houses, the Hearst house and this house here. And I'll tell you a funny thing. And I remember I had the day off or something. I was like, you know what? I could save some money. And my guy charges, he does a great job. Front and back, right? He cuts the lines perfect. I mean, great job. Mexican dude. Chavez, lawn care. If y'all need somebody, hit me up. And charges $35. Freaking cheap, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I was home one day. I was like, I could save that $35.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do it myself today. I still have my lawnmower out there.
Yeah.
I remember I was mowing the front yard, and I always put my sunglasses on. It's pretty bright out there, and I hit a freaking rock or something, man, and it shot up. Right, it shot up, bing, right in my glasses, dude. It came up like a freaking bullet coming at my eyeball, and I had these dollar store sunglasses on it. Bing! It scared the crap out of me, Yeah. And I jumped. And I left like a freaking mark there where the pebble. I still have those glasses somewhere because they saved my eye, man. Because if I wouldn't have had them on, I would have lost my eye, I think.
Dang.
And after that, I told my wife what happened. She's like, "Yeah, you're never mowing again." I was like, "Yeah, $35 or an eyeball? What the frick?"
Yeah, man. Outsource, dog. Outsource.
I have been outsourcing. I outsourced my plumbing too. I'm easing into it now. You know who Mr. Money Mustache is?
Yeah. This was podcast.
Okay, yeah, he does financial independence. He preaches that. How spend less and then he live as close to work as you can, so you can ride your bike to work and back. And he does all this tips and stuff, which is good stuff. And one of his things is, and if you can fix it, do it yourself, because you get because whatever that you're capable of doing, do it. Even if you have the money to pay somebody, you might learn something. It'll bring you joy. It'll bring you appreciation and pride in doing something yourself. He's real big on that.
Yeah.
And so I'll outsource certain things, but whenever I am doing something at the house or fixing something, and I was like, well, I could have paid somebody. I could have just stayed at work and done. I was like, you know what, but I kind of got a little bit of pride out of this because I fixed this one thing at the house right, and it looks good, and I did that. So there's a balance. I don't have to outsource 100% every freaking thing, and I do need to outsource some more things, but you get the pride of doing stuff with your hands too sometimes. Yeah,
I sometimes get that. Well, no, I don't. I get pride and joy in watching SportsCenter. So I'll outsource. I'll be outsourcing, man.
As long as it ain't the Lakers highlights.
Oh yeah, of course. You got to watch my Lake show. But no, I understand it. Some things I ain't gonna lie. Like with stuff on my computer, like I do that myself. Like I'll build a whole computer myself, take it apart myself, put it back together.
And you can just buy a computer, right?
Yeah, you could. But that's just. I don't know if it's a passion, just art. I just know how to do it. So yeah, you do it, and you do get that pride and joy. But yeah, outsourcing, man, this is how I always look at outsourcing. I look at it as I'm helping somebody else. Like my VA, I was able to help her for a year or two or whatever, and she was able to move to another state, pay bills off. You have to look at it like that, and it helped her.
Right, right.
So you have to look at it as you're helping somebody else. That's how I look at it.
And I'm seeing that more and more. I've seen that like successful. Let's just go like even a successful manager at a little let's say a little store, a little or whatever little job place. A successful manager, he hires brilliant people, puts them in the right spots, and lets them lets them do the work and brings the company up. An unsuccessful manager would be like a micromanager, like be on everybody. No, do it this way, be on their asses and try to do everything and not letting people, kind of like Jerry Jones running the Cowboys kind of thing. And so I'm seeing this, and I listened to a Tim Ferriss podcast, and I told you he interviews a lot of CEOs, a lot of billionaires, and founders. And a common theme is they go out and find the talent to help them get to where they need to get. They know that they can't do everything, and the ones that try fail because they just get burned out, or it just becomes overwhelming. But as soon as they start finding like people to help them, partners or even a co-founder or just smart people to handle certain tasks, that's when everything just starts going like gangbusters for them.
Yep.
And I'm starting to see that, and so. Yeah, if I can't do everything yourself.
That's funny you said that, man, because like you always say, your network is your net worth.
Exactly.
And I'm about to, because one thing I am looking for is a counselor and a life coach.
Oh, shit.
Those are two things I'm looking for right now.
Is Tony Robbins available?
I don't know. Got to pay him 60 G's, dog.
60 G's to say hi.
I ain't got it, player. But no, man. Like, I'm serious. Like I think you said it the other day. You were like, man, I've never seen a successful person that didn't have a life coach.
I've seen that. That's a theme on the Tim Ferriss show too. All these billionaires, they all have life coaches, man. I'm like, dang.
Every last one of them.
That's crazy. Something I would never think of hiring something like
life
that.
Coach?
But
I'm definitely looking for one. Definitely. Like that's something.
Because let's say you wanna lose weight. You get what's it called? Like what your Mahogany does.
A personal trainer.
Personal trainer. If you're really, really serious about it, you get a personal trainer. If you want to, eat right, you talk to a dietitian. You talk to an expert, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to even get your head straight, talk to a psychiatrist. And but no one ever thinks about, I guess, except for the ultra successful people, about a life coach. I mean, your most important thing, how to run your life. I mean, it helps.
How to run your life.
How to run your life.
And I've been meeting people, man, they're like, I have a life coach. I'm like, a what coach? But no, it's like the truth. You got to get you a life coach, man. Like
LeBron James, best basketball player on the planet, but he still needs a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs a coach to coach the team. He's not going to coach the team.
I don't know, man.
Is that a bad example?
Yeah, that's a bad example. Kobe and Jordan, we'll say they need coaches, man. LeBron, man, I don't know. He
Coach LeBron.
Yeah, he'll coach a team straight into the ground.
Dang.
But no, man, you do. You need a coach, man. You need somebody there that you can depend upon, who can give you some game. Matter of fact, because I was, me and my wife, we had suggested one of our family members become a life coach. They've ran so many different businesses. I'm like, you have experience that you could teach somebody. I'm like, you've ran 4 or 5 businesses, owned real estate, owned commercial real estate, and it's like she didn't think about it, because when you're doing that stuff, you sometimes lose your value. You're like you'll sometimes focus on what's going wrong instead of looking at your overall value and what you can bring to someone.
Right.
And I was like, dude, you could literally be someone's life coach.
Wow, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe you and I will be life coaches in the future after we figure things out.
We're already financial coaches, Oh
yeah, we're helping out. We're helping coach people.
We do a little bit.
Got a 1-800 number. Hit us up.
Yeah. We'll charge you for that. But yeah,
if you're good at something, why do it for free?
There you go.
So on that note, good place to stop the ep. You want to roll another ep?
Yeah, we might be able to roll.
Maybe a short one. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we can roll another one.
Okay. Well, this has been a great episode, and we'll leave you hanging with. We got some more good stuff to talk about on the out there in the Facebook world. If y'all want to stick around, we're gonna roll another ep. And for y'all listening in the podcast world, we will see you next week, or not see you, but we will speak at you, and you will hear our great musings. And hopefully what we're doing is helping out a little. It's fun this is fun, and all the feedback is great, and we love helping out, man. And as Myka says, for a price.
Nah, man, but it's been real. We like helping out. By the way, hit us up, liveletthrive at gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on, I'm always on Instagram. Hit us up on there.
IG.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Share Bed and Breakfast, or you can hit me up at the Live Let Thrive. I'm always posting something. I ain't posted in a while. But, yeah, man, hit us up. We always got some good information for you.
Yes, sir. All right. Steve-O, Myka, Live Let Thrive. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live Let Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.